This is the official podcast of thedropnews.com. We are no longer Comic Drops. If you've been paying attention to our site, we rebranded. I think I mentioned this at least once or twice in previous episodes. But yeah, we are officially thedropnews.com, or TDN if you want to call us, because we want to be cool and stuff. Please love us. I am your host, Josh Sharp, and this is the first podcast of the new year. I'm super excited. And joining me today is Ander Lilly. Ander, how are you going, man? How are you going? How are you doing? Jesus Christ. Okay. Knocking the rust off.
I'm good, man. I'm glad to be back.
Glad to be back in the new year. It's the first one of the new year, ladies and gentlemen. Get used to it. And joining us again is David Hutchison from, where are you from again?
Scotland. Yeah, UK.
Scotland, there you go. Amen.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, pretty good. Thanks, Josh, for having me back. Can't wait to talk about lots of cool stuff that's been happening since last time the podcast happened. So, yeah.
Yeah, I even remember the last time we actually did one of these. But
yeah, it feels like it's been forever.
Yeah, well, I mean, the last time we didn't do it was my fault because I woke up an hour late, which was technically an hour, whatever. Anyway, and joining us last but not least, we have Alex Batts in the building. Dude, how has your year been so far?
Pretty good so far. Excited to talk about all this news, honestly. We got a bunch of cool stuff that came out today. So
yeah, actually, that's what we're going to start with. The original plan was to kind of just go through the things we missed the past 2 weeks. But since, like, everybody and their mama wanted to drop, like, a trailer or some kind of news today, we're going to go ahead and start off with that. And speaking of trailers, we're going to start off with the one that I think everyone cares about the most, which is the trailer for Logan, Hugh Jackman's final performance, or we think his final performance as a Wolverine, that dropped today. And it looks bloody, it looks gory, it doesn't even look like a superhero movie. It just looks like this super awesome character piece surrounding one of the world's most famous X-Men. Hugh Jackman is phenomenal in everything, essentially everything that he does. Yeah, the trailer dropped today, and although I liked it, it wasn't my favorite trailer. Mind you, there's only been two, this one and then the official trailer that came out, which was the first one. Yeah, this one was cool. You know, it showed off some cool action with X-23 and Logan, and it showed a little bit more of Professor X and the villains and all that good stuff. But I don't know, I feel like the first trailer was slightly better. I don't know, I just feel like the sheer emotion in the first trailer just kind of made it for me, you know? There wasn't a whole lot of story elements shown or a whole lot of action, set pieces or, cool one-liners, anything like that. It was just a cool trailer that showed you what the movie was about. I honestly didn't even want to watch the second one because I was like, I think the first one showed me everything that I wanted to see, and I'm perfectly fine just going to the movie essentially blind from this point on. But just like everybody else, I caved. I watched it. It was good. But yeah, I'm just as hyped for it as I was before. David, we'll start with you, man. What did you think of the new Logan trailer?
Okay, so I'm going to start off by saying I did love this trailer. I did. I think it was great. It ramped up my excitement for the film. It had a very different tone to the first trailer. The first trailer, I don't know if it was the music, I don't know if it was Johnny Cash that made the tone, what it felt like in the first trailer, I don't know if it was the shots, but I think it was a very different tone. I think this trailer looked great, but Josh, I think you nailed it. I prefer the first trailer because maybe I didn't know what I was expecting. I was just very pleasantly surprised. So I'm going to say that I prefer the first trailer, but this definitely ramped up my excitement. And it's only 6 weeks. I think 6 weeks today the film comes out. In some places, I think here it comes out 6 weeks today. So yeah, I really like the trailer.
What's the date in the UK?
I think it's either the 1st or the 2nd. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, we get it the 4th, I think.
Okay.
Is it the 4th?
Is the 3rd, I think, is it not?
I think that I don't know. I thought 4th. I'm not. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, because I honestly don't. It's either the 4th or the 3rd. Take your bets now.
I think it's the 3rd. But yeah, no, I love this trailer. I'm definitely excited to see the film. So
dang it, frick. Okay, I lost. All right, continue.
Sorry, continue. Yeah.
Continue.
No, that's me. I'm done. I loved it. I can't wait to see it. I'm just ready to see the film now. But that's our final trailer, right? Is that the final trailer?
Yeah, I like that. You know, you're not releasing a bunch of stupid TV spots or, here's a clip of X-23 popping her claws for the first time as an exclusive on some news website. Like, no, I don't care. Like, just 2 trailers. we know what to expect. We know what we're getting into. We know what this is. So just freaking give it to us. I'm ready. Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree with both of you. Basically, I really agree, Josh, that like this movie looks spectacular and doesn't look like a superhero movie, and I think that's one of the reasons that it does look so spectacular. Is that, like you said, it's a focused character piece on Logan and Wolverine, and that is awesome. And the tone that they're taking with that, I love. And it solidified this trailer and the previous one, which I did like more than this one, solidifies the stance that I think that they should go with character pieces for X-Men characters, like one or two, per movie. And then, like, I mean, I know that they want the team ups eventually, so you can have those, but I think the really fantastic movies are going to come from those more focused ones. But anyways, yeah, I still love this trailer. And Josh, like you, I didn't want to watch it, actually. I only watched it because I knew that we were going to be talking about it today, so I was like, oh, I guess I kind of have to watch it. But yeah, I just continued to ramp up my hype for this movie. I can't wait.
Yeah, because I had actually tweeted on Twitter, I think on Tuesday. I was just like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna watch the trailer. I've seen enough. I know what we're getting, so I'm satisfied. But as soon as I saw like the little still of like X-23 and that little gas station, I was like, I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this. I clicked play, and I'm glad I did, because I mean, obviously, we needed to watch it. Well, I needed to watch it so we could talk about it. But I mean, Jesus, man, the movie looks so good. Andrew, what are your thoughts? Wait, were you about to say something else?
I was gonna say it looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, Andrew, what are your thoughts, man?
Oh, I loved it. I actually forgot they were coming out with a trailer today until a few people linked it to me. Like you guys, I was sold by the first trailer, so I wasn't sure I needed another one. What I did like about this trailer is that we still know basically nothing about the plot. Just a brief, Logan is just trying to protect Laura, pretty much. So this trailer was pretty much just like the icing on the cake. We got that fantastic emotional trailer for the first one. This one we really get to see Laura like really shine. She looks like a total badass. But yeah, I loved it. I agree with you guys. I think the first one's by far the best. But I loved it.
Yeah, you're definitely right about the plot. Like in your typical superhero movie, it's the plot is pretty cut and dry. The bad guy's trying to do something, and you're the good guy, the hero, the protagonist is there to stop them. With this movie, it's just like, okay, so he's protecting her, but what's the end goal? What are they trying to accomplish by protecting her? Mm-hmm. Why is he protecting her? What are the bad guys trying to get from her? And where does Professor X fit in all this? Where are the other mutants? Cool little things like that. So I'm very just like talking about it more. It's just making me smile. I just cannot wait for this movie. I honestly, it may be early to say, but I think I might go ahead and say it now. I think Logan could be probably like one of the top 3 comic book movies, if not movies, like in general this year. Just from what I've seen alone, but from like 2-minute trailers, So I'm just bring on Logan. It just looks so good. I honestly wish more superhero movies looked like that. Did they do just like the uber explosions and the blue beam in the sky and all that crap,
We'd get such better movies in general. Like, they wouldn't just have to be categorized as superhero movies. Like, just use these superhero characters in awesome movies. Don't like.
Yeah. I just hope I'm not like overhyping it. I want to sit in the theater and be like, oh my god, Logan, and the movie ends up being like mediocre. I'm going to cry if that movie is mediocre, because it's.
I just can't see it happening.
I just don't see any way of this movie like being bad or failing. Just from what I've seen by these trailers, I feel like there's absolutely no way this movie can be bad. Now, I hope I'm not eating crow in the next, 2 months and it ends up being really bad. And I'm just like, yeah, Logan sucked. So I don't think this is going to happen. But, studios and things. So, all right. Anything else to add to Logan before we move on?
No.
I don't think so.
All right. We are moving on to Shazam news. And this is actually something that was very surprising. When I saw that headline, I was just kind of like, wait, what? I had to read it 4 or 5 times to really understand what they were talking about. But let me give you some background on what's going on. So, The Rock, he signed on to play Black Adam, which is the antagonist to Shazam, for a Shazam movie that was supposed to come out in 2019. We hadn't heard anything about it. We heard that there were some script issues and they couldn't find a director and yada yada yada. And then fast forward, I think maybe about a year or maybe even a year and a half to I think last week, where The Rock met with the heads of DC Films and WB, and they were kind of talking about the future of the DC Films universe, because whether you like it or not, it's been pretty polarizing in some eyes of fans, saying that that it's a mess and blah 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 blah. Even though I agree, Suicide Squad was a cluster of trash. He was talking about how they're gonna introduce hope and optimism and fun, which are some things that some fans think has been lacking in the DC Films universe. And it's just been, this constant, I guess debate between like fans about what's gonna happen, and then all of a sudden today we find out that Shazam is going to be split into 2 movies, and Black Adam is gonna be getting his own movie. Now I don't think anybody saw this happening. Am I correct in assuming that?
I didn't know. This is very surprising.
I don't.
Yeah, I like I said, I had to read the headline at least 3 to 5 times to really understand. Like, wait, why? They haven't said why they're doing it or when it's gonna come out or who's playing Shazam, but Black Adam's getting his own movie. We don't know what's gonna entail. I don't really know much about the character, but I mean, I feel like they're doing this just because The Rock is attached to the character. I feel like if it was anybody else, they wouldn't be doing it, because I mean, The Rock carries some serious star power. But Alex, what do you think about a Black Adam movie, or just Shazam being split up into 2 in general?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting it. I've seen a lot of people that are very unhappy about it and like kind of complaining about it. I don't really see I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm excited for Black Adam to get his own movie. I think he's a really cool character, and The Rock being in that role is going to be really cool, I think. And like you said, the star power for that is definitely, I think that's 100% agree. That's why they're doing it and why they're so behind it and willing to split it into 2 movies. But I think it's going to bring a lot of people, especially if it's good, a lot of people to these movies. And then also I'm just interested to see what they do with the character. And then I don't really know how they're going to do it though with Shazam being 2 movies. Like I don't know how to write a 4-hour Shazam and Black Adam story. And so I think that's one challenge that they'll have to tackle to see how to do that, and that'll be interesting. But I mean, I'm hopeful for it and kind of excited, but yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah, it's very it's just a weird announcement. Like, why? I'm interested to see what kind of story they've cooked up to where they could even have a Black Adam movie. Black Adam, as far as I know, he's an anti-hero, right? He's not a full-fledged villain, right?
Yes.
Andrew, you have anything else to add to what I said?
Yeah, he's pretty much more an anti-hero nowadays. Okay.
So let's go ahead and move on to you. Do you think a Black Adam movie could work?
I think it could. I don't know if you guys read my tweets about it, but
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
I feel like it's a little unnecessary, but I agree that it's basically just for the money, just for the star power of The Rock. The way I can see it working is that the Black Adam would come first, and it would be like a prequel, and it would show like Black Adam's origin, and then it could probably tie into Shazam. Maybe in Shazam he gets woken up or something. Mm-hmm. And at least we've got the backstory of Black Adam, so actually I guess it could work either way, really. But
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And I feel like if they do that, it could be an absolutely fantastic movie. So if they do it right, it could be really, really great. And so I'm all for that. But
yeah, my only concern is that it's going to shove Shazam into a corner, and people are just going to forget about him, and it's going to all be about Black Adam. That's my one concern about it.
I think that could depend on who.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I feel like that could depend on who they cast as Shazam.
Exactly. I would say that. Yeah, I was about to say. I think they would have to cast somebody who has equally just strong, as much, if not a slightly bit more star power than The Rock, and I guarantee that would be hard to come by these days, because The Rock has been killing it the past couple of years. That's why I think people like Zac Efron, terrible choice. I never want to see that. Please kill that with fire. I know Colin's listening too. You're terrible for that fan cast. But who do we know that could actually, be at that level of, I guess, star power, just fame in general, who could play Shazam? Does anybody have a name at all?
I'm sure there's some.
Who's gonna say John Cena?
I can't think of one off the top.
John Cena.
No. No.
I swear, if they actually end up going, oh yeah,
I don't
John
know.
Cena cast as Shazam, the movie's gonna turn into a joke. It's gonna seem like a parody if they cast like a wrestler or just this really like this actor that doesn't have any kind of charisma or anything that could actually kind of feed off of and bounce off of The Rock. The movie's gonna turn into like a joke, and I'm kind of scared for it. So they need to pick their Shazam very, very carefully. Because right now, I don't think, aside from like the hardcore Shazam fans, and and I guess those big DC heads, I don't think aside from that, I don't think anybody has faith in these movies because they've just been, I don't know, it's just weird, man. I don't know what DC's doing. I really don't. It just seems like they're just throwing a bunch of stuff at a wall and hoping to see what sticks. Or there's like, oh yeah, we'll do a Deadshot movie. Oh, Gotham City Sirens. Oh, Shazam. Wait, no, Shazam into 2 movies. Like, please, please, please. Just make up your mind.
So reactionary.
Yeah, it's exactly what Colin said in the group chat. Like, it's so annoying. Like, please focus up. And mind you, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and I'm not gonna pretend for a second like I actually know anything, like any kind of like inside information or anything like that. But on the outside looking in, it just looks like they're not entirely sure what formula they want to go with. Like I understand they want to usher in a new era of DC movies with hope, optimism, and fun and stuff like that. But it doesn't seem like they have a game plan going. Like I said, it seems like they're just throwing things on a wall, hoping to see, people like Harley Quinn. Let's do a Harley Quinn movie with the other DC female characters and Gotham City Sirens. Oh, people like The Rock. Oh, let's give The Rock his own movie as Black Adam. Oh, yeah, we still need Shazam. Oh, we'll give Shazam another movie. Well, this Black Adam will be its own movie. Like, please, focus up.
Can I say what I posted? I posted on, I think it was either Instagram or Twitter. I'm paraphrasing, but I said something along the lines of Dwayne Johnson to star in his own Black Adam movie, proving once again that DC has no plan. Okay, when I first heard the news, I was like, okay, is Shazam just being split into 2 films and it's like a kind of 2-part of the same story type thing? But then I started reading it and then I realized it was a Black Adam solo and then a Shazam solo. I think that Dwayne Johnson is a great choice for Black Adam and it could end up being a great movie. But like just going back to this whole point of they're being incredibly reactionary, like after Captain America the Winter Soldier came out and everyone was like clamoring and pleading for a Black Widow movie, I was like, please Kevin Feige, give us a Black Widow film. Kevin Feige was,
I don't know why that character sucks.
Kevin Feige was like, you know what, this is our phase 3, this is our plan, we're going to stick to it, but who knows, down the line we might include a Black Widow film. Everyone's like, and now people are like, oh, we like Harley Quinn, and DC's like, oh, like everyone likes Harley Quinn, let's just put in Harley Quinn, everyone's happy, whee! Like, it's just, like, yeah, and
That's
it's
what it feels like, man.
Look, I'm sure somewhere at Warner Brothers, at DC, someone has a plan somewhere. I'm sure someone has a rough idea of what they're doing. Rough idea. But, we hope. Yeah, we don't even know. Yeah, we just hope that that's what's going on. But I'm guessing it would be Jeff Johns who's heading all the movies now at DC. I just want him to post just like a photo on Twitter or on Facebook, just being like, guys, this is what we're doing. And this is what we're doing. And just stick to it and then just let it play out. Look, if Wonder Woman ends up sucking and Justice League ends up sucking, then they will probably take a step back and be like, right, we need to reevaluate where we're going and have, make some more decisions creatively. But they just need like one photo saying this is our slate. And because things like is Cyborg still happening? Green Lantern's obviously a bit more certain now, but things like, there's just so much uncertainty, and it would just be nice to have some clarification.
Yeah. Alex, you've been uncharacteristically quiet. What do you think, man?
I've been waiting.
Lay it on us, man.
Yeah, I disagree with like a lot of what y'all are saying. I really don't think that it's too reactionary. I think they have been reactionary of sorts about what they've been saying as far as like the tone change, which they had already said and established was a plan since before Batman v Superman came out, that the tone was going to change. Now they were just beaten by critics that it wasn't fun enough, so they have to hammer over everyone's faces that they are going to make it lighter and fun so that people will listen. And so like that. And then also I feel like with these movies, like we've had 3 movies and I don't think that they've just been announcing a bunch of like random things. Like announcing the Harley Quinn and Gotham City Sirens spinoff, like after the Suicide Squad was still extremely successful, even though it was kind of like not taken very well by people, but like it was a huge success financially for WB, so naturally they're going to run with that and do that. And like if they want to do that, then they have a plan for that part. And then also I do agree that we do need like an updated slate, but when was the last time that we got like a full updated slate from Marvel? It was like, I'm not sure on a time frame, but I think it was probably roughly around the same time that we had a full update slate from DC.
Yeah, but Marvel is still
like,
sticking to theirs.
But no, Marvel's came out I think before Ant-Man came out, actually.
Yeah.
Or right after Ant-Man came out.
Which was how many years
It
ago?
was the Phase 3 announcement. The Phase 3 announcement was like December 2014, I think.
Yeah.
And DC announced like had a slate update at the beginning of last year. And so like I just see it as them announcing more movies, and Marvel just does as much of the same thing as far as announcing projects and movies that they're working on. And people don't see that as them not having a plan just because they don't give a complete update on the structure of the universe every time they announce new projects.
This is why I think people see it as DC is just releasing or announcing a bunch of these movies. They have the slate, we've got Justice League 2, Flash, Green Lantern, Cyborg, Man of Steel, Batman, blah, blah, blah. All those movies that they initially announced with their original slate. And now they're just throwing a whole bunch of other movies in there. And that's why it just seems like they don't know how to handle this crap. Because they're just throwing all of these other additional movies in there. Like I'm a huge DC fan. The more DC movies, the better. I love them. DC's all over my room. I love it with all my heart. But please, give us like something something new to base what you're doing off of. Because right now it seems like it's just a total mess over there.
I will.
Yeah, and see, like I think that's where just like perspective comes into it, like how you want to look at it, because I just see it as them announcing more things and not that they don't have a plan, so they're just announcing random things. Like, I don't see what would lead you to think that they have no plan just because they haven't given a complete update of the structure.
Yeah, see, like I said, it's just me on the outside looking in. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm kind of just going off of what I've seen and what I've read, And, like, I think I read somewhere that DC does plan on doing some kind of, like, updated slate on, like, another one of those DC CW specials. But I mean, I don't know whether that's true or not. But I mean, as from what I've seen right now, it's just kind of like I'm just kind of upset about the whole thing.
And like as far as the Shazam movie, like that's been New Line Cinema has been trying to make that happen since like the early 2000s. So that's not a new project really being announced, and like The Rock's been attached to this for years now too. So it's really just it was out of nowhere that they split it into two movies and is kind of unnecessary, but that's one of the things. And then the Harley Quinn and Gotham City Sirens announcement happened, I don't know how long ago, and then I don't know, I just don't think that it's really that much of them like scrambling, or that I don't think that any of it is really a sign that they don't have a plan, or that no one has a plan that they're sticking to or that they want to go with. I think that they very much do have a direction planned out, but I think that
I do quite like your point. I do like the point, just because Marvel announces their whole Phase 3 films doesn't mean that DC needs to do that. But I also think that because, like, the last two DC films haven't been, amazing critically, I'll say, I think that we're expecting DC to change their plan because we don't like it. Because there are obviously a lot of people who love Suicide Squad and who love Batman v Superman, and that's great. But I think that because there are a lot of people who did see the films as disappointing, that means that we think, the people who didn't like the films think that DC should change their plan, and that has kind of led people to think that DC is in a bit of a mess, because it's like, oh, well, are they changing it, or are they not changing it? You know what I mean? Like, just because we think that DC should change their plan, and just because we think...
I think that just completely comes from, like, the people, like, thinking about it. Like, so... But I don't know. I think that my whole point with the, like, comparing the timeline of it, like, I do think that we need an update from DC. I think that they should give a complete update, but I just don't think that there's any reason to believe that it's a complete mess back there and they're in shambles and there's no plan, really, because, like, Marvel hasn't given a complete update like everyone is asking for from DC, and they announced just as many new projects and things like that, but no one is saying that they're in shambles or have a mess and don't know what they're doing and don't have a plan that they're sticking to.
Cyborg movie 2015 to 2015.
Yeah, I'm
That just
pretty sure
went
it's gonna
totally.
translate
That just disappeared.
And I would prefer that. I don't think Cyborg can carry his own movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see when Justice League comes out. We'll see how Ray Fisher does as the character. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if The Rock was Shazam, we wouldn't be really having this conversation. I feel like I feel like if The Rock was Shazam, we'd be like, okay, Shazam solo movie, then the villain's getting its own solo movie. It's still kind of weird, but at least we know that the hero is is secured. He's fine. So I don't know. But I'm glad we had this conversation. That was nice. Does anybody have anything else to add to that before we move on to the Power Rangers trailer?
Not really, I don't think.
David?
I mean, Dwayne Johnson did say that there's like hope, optimism, and fun for the DC movies of the future. I mean, just going back quickly to this point about the tone, like a lot of people seem to be complaining about the tone. I had a lot of problems with Batman v Superman, but the tone was not one of them.
Oh,
I think the tone was really good for that film, and I think that with films like The Flash, that you need obviously a lighter tone. Justice League could obviously have a bit of a lighter tone, but overall, I don't think there's a general tone problem
Same.
with DC movies.
I mean, I like
I'm actually
dark
gonna be
comic book movies, so
You're
I have
welcome.
no problem with that. That's why that's one of the main reasons why I
Same.
love BVS so much.
I'm gonna be extremely pissed if the tone gets too light because of all this BS. I'm gonna be so furious.
Like all the Justice League members continue
Yeah.
to make fish jokes throughout the entire movie. That'd be great. Oh God, kill me now. All right, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the Power Rangers trailer. As somebody who is not a Power Rangers fan and has never been a Power Rangers fan, I was kind of just meh about the whole announcement, just because, like I said, I don't really care about Power Rangers. I hated how all like animated they were. Like, for example, they'd be like, the enemy be over there across the field. They'd be like, guys, we gotta go over there and stop them and stuff. And like they're moving their arms and crap. And I'm just like, oh my God, you please stop. But I mean, the trailer actually does not look that bad. I think what is the little mecha thing called, like the Zordons or something like that? Zords.
Alpha 5's a little robot. And
No,
then
like the mech thing. The Zords, right?
Zordon, Bryan Cranston's
No,
character.
somebody help me out, please.
The Zord.
Yes.
the big
yes.
giant robot.
yeah,
I don't know.
the
The
Zord.
Zord.
yeah.
Okay, so I was half right. Yeah, that looked cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it had some characteristics of a Transformers movie. Like I can already tell that third act is going to be a train wreck. But I'm still curious to watch the movie for some reason. I don't know why. The suits look cool. I mean, I don't have any information or kind of background knowledge of the Power Rangers to say, oh, well, this kind of reminds me of this episode or anything like that. But I mean, Andrew, what about you? Did you enjoy the Power Rangers trailer? Actually, did you even watch it?
I did.
Okay. I should have asked that before we actually started. So it's just
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm like you. I know nothing about Power Rangers. I didn't grow up with them. I thought it looked pretty good. What else was I gonna say? I think
I
it
don't
looks good. That's it. I think it looks
Okay.
good.
I'm guessing you're gonna check it out when it comes out, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'll probably check it out.
Yeah. Alex?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Power Rangers fan. I remember I watched it some when I was little, but I don't really remember much of it or any of it. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm not super like overhyped for it or anything, but it looks like a really cool movie. Like there's definitely scenes in it that look like they're gonna be entertaining as hell, and so that'll be fun. But yeah, I agree with you. The third act is gonna be that'll be fun to watch.
Oh yeah,
See
I
how
could I could see it. I was like, it was so apparent that the last like 30 seconds of that trailer, I was like, oh my God, we're gonna get like a Transformers-esque third act, just a bunch of destruction, just really just CGI everywhere. It's gonna be
Yeah, some parts of it look were a little bit too much, but it's crazy seeing a Power Rangers movie of this scale and like with this budget and just I don't know. I never thought I'd see that.
It's funny because I thought it was coming out later on in the year. It's coming out in freaking March. It's coming out at the end of March. I think it's like March
Really?
20. Yeah, it's like March 26th. I think. Let me check my calendar real quick. Well, March. I think it's
Yep.
March 24th that it's coming out. And I was like, I thought it was
Yep.
coming out like June, but yeah, no, it's coming out really soon. But I mean, Logan's gonna be out that month, so I think we all know who's gonna win the box office and probably critics. David, what about you? What do you think of the Power Rangers trailer, the new one?
Yeah, I mean, I watched Power Rangers when I was a kid. I have revisited it a couple of times, just for like nostalgia. But I really like the trailer. I like the humor. I like when they're all in the cave and everyone starts glowing, and the Black Ranger's like, "I'm black," and RJ Siley's like, "What?"
Yeah, that was kind of funny. Actually, yeah, that was pretty funny.
I love that. I think Bryan Cranston looks great as Zordon. I was quite skeptical about the Alpha 5 character when I first saw the photo, and we still didn't really get a good glimpse of him. We just saw him for like 5 seconds in this trailer. But the dinosaurs look cool. Here's the actress that's playing Rita Repulsa. Elizabeth Banks. Elizabeth Banks looks great as what's her name?
Repulsa,
Rita Repulsa.
Okay.
There we go. Rita Repulsa. Yeah. She looked great. Rangers look great. Zords look great. And I had a few people. I think I saw people on Twitter were like, "Oh, it looks stupid," and it's like these are people who had actually never seen Power Rangers. And to me, this was kind of like the trailer is Power Rangers. I think it's obviously a sort of more modern, sort of slightly, I don't want to say darker, but it's a more sort of modern day movie adaptation version of Power Rangers. And it's like, well, that's what Power Rangers is. It is these people that that have all these abilities, and they're in the suits and the Zords and stuff. So if you don't like that, then that's just because you don't like Power Rangers. It's like someone watching Star Wars and being like, "Oh, it looks stupid," and it's like, well, that's what Star Wars is. If you don't like it, then that means you just don't like Star Wars. So, you know.
What are those light swords? Basically. But yeah,
So-
I mean, the first trailer kind of made me think of Chronicle, which is a movie that I absolutely love. It's
Mhm.
so good.
Yep.
And this trailer kind of reminded me, like I said, the third act-ish, Transformers, things like that. But I'm still curious, even though the only Power Rangers series that I remember was like Dino Thunder, which is like the first one that comes to my mind.
Mhm.
I'm still curious in the movie. I'll go check it out. I will see when it comes out, and I will form my own opinion. I feel like I actually kind of have like an advantage, as somebody who's never seen Power Rangers. I don't have anything to base it on. I don't have any expectations. I'm just going just to see how the movie is. So I mean, hopefully that'll work out in my favor, and I actually end up enjoying it. I hope I do, because I don't like seeing bad movies. I don't think anybody likes seeing bad movies. So we'll see what happens with that. But we're gonna hop over to the Marvel side and talk about something really quickly. That is the confirmation of Spider-Man officially appearing in Avengers Infinity War. I guess not part 1 or part 2, I guess the whole thing. And I mean, I guess it's not really news, I guess, per se, because I guess everyone knew that since he was a part of the MCU that he was going to show up eventually in the next Avengers movie. But I think there were some issues in regards to rights with Marvel and Sony. I guess they had to okay him being in an Avengers movie. But I mean, I think it's still cool. We could see Spider-Man in like standing alongside the Avengers, and when they're not fighting each other. Well, I used fight loosely because it was like a friendly squabble, but we're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, I love Spider-Man, Tom Holland. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man: Homecoming, and it'll be cool to see him alongside the rest of the Avengers fighting, Thanos and whoever else shows up. I'm fingers crossed for Red Skull at some point. God, please, they're missing the mark on that character so much. Alex, what do you think about Spider-Man in Infinity War?
Yeah, I think that I felt pretty much the same with all the other so-and-so confirmed for Infinity War ones. As far as all these, I kind of assumed that most of them would be. I mean, I knew Spider-Man was a little bit different because of the Sony and Marvel deal and all that, the legal BS that they deal with. But yeah, I'm like you. I'm excited to see him in Infinity War, and it's cool that we now it's confirmed that he'll be there, and to see him alongside the Avengers, like you said. But yeah, I'm just fun.
Andrew.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's pretty obvious, I guess. I figured Spider-Man would show up. They'd want to use him in every movie that they could. And just it seems like Infinity War isn't basically everyone showing up. Like Avengers, Guardians, who's left? Ant-Man, all of them.
Defenders, maybe? Probably not.
Probably not. I wish.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. Should be interesting to see.
See, I don't want to get into the conversation now because we have a few other things we want to cover, but that really pisses me off. You say that the Netflix series is connected to the movie universe, but yet you never give them any time to shine, you know? And every single time somebody mentions it, you
Oh,
go,
dude.
I don't know about that. Then if you don't know about it, then why even say they're connected in the first place? You know? I don't, like I said, I don't want to get into
Grinds
the
my
conversation
gears.
now because it'll turn into like, wait, what?
So it grinds my gears.
Yeah, it's just so annoying, man. I don't want to get into the conversation, but it's just something that when you were talking about other characters popping up in Infinity War, that's the first thing in my mind was I want to see like Luke Cage and Daredevil and people like that. But it'll probably never happen because Marvel hates us. All right, moving on back over to the DC things. Apparently, WB has hired David Goyer and Justin Rhodes to write the screenplay for Green Lantern Corps. People have been like asking for Green Lantern news for the longest time. Like, where's Green Lantern? He's gonna show up in Justice League and yada yada yada. But even though we don't know where he's showing up at or in, we know that David Goyer, who worked with Zack Snyder on Man of Steel, he worked with Christopher Nolan on the Dark Knight trilogy, and I think Goyer is currently attached to that Krypton series that no one cares about on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
I honestly forgot about that until I said it. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about this. I'll let some of the other guys talk before I give my thoughts. David, let's start with you again.
Well, my comments will be fairly short and sweet because I don't know. I mean, apart from the things that you mentioned, I don't really know a lot about these guys' work. I mean, if David Goyer has worked on like Man of Steel and he's worked with Christopher Nolan, then in my opinion, he has worked on some of the best films that DC has been putting out in the last like 10 years. But it's great to get an update on Green Lantern Corps. And yeah, I mean, we'll just sort of have to see how it plays out. I mean, who knows if the next couple of DC movies fail, we might not even get a Green Lantern Corps. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But it's good to get an update.
Yeah, Andrew.
I think he'll be okay. I'm not the biggest Goyer fan. His the writing in Man of Steel was okay, but I think it's supposed to be based off of a treatment written by Jeff Johns, so that already makes me more excited. Because Jeff Johns knows Green Lanterns more than anyone else.
He loves that character.
So it's not like something I'm super excited about, and it's also something I'm not like dreading. So I'm just sort of going with it.
Okay. Alex, what are your thoughts?
I'm very relieved and excited that that we got an update on this movie. You know, like confirmation that it is happening and they're moving forward with it. They have someone working on it, and I'm not like Ander and y'all. I'm not the hugest Goyer fan, but I do I appreciate his work and how he worked with Nolan on the Dark Knight trilogy, and I was a huge fan of all those, obviously. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the movie, and like you said, just glad that there's an update on it. Like, we needed that, but
Yeah. So yeah,
it's hard to English there for a second.
so like I kind of echo what you guys are talking about. About finally we're happy that we're getting something Green Lantern related, and it's cool that we have an update on what's going on with the movie because DC has essentially been dark about the entire thing ever since its initial announcement. But I don't know, just having somebody like Goyer on is very troubling, at least for me, because I think WB let him go after I don't think it was Man of Steel, or it was during Man of Steel, and they brought in Chris Terrio to rewrite the script or something like that. Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong, but just like with that fact alone, I'm like, why would they bring him back? It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of strange to me. And then with Justin Rhodes, I don't know what he's done. I know he's done something like important because I remember I wrote the article we posted on the site about it. But I mean, sure. I don't know. That's really all I can say about it. So I mean, whatever.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull a rapid fire going. We have two more, but I mean, they're not really super big things. I think one of them we actually already knew, and the other I guess we can spend a little bit more time on. But the first one is Oops! I just smacked my boom mic. I'm sorry. We have confirmation of Ares being a villain in Wonder Woman. This was something that we all kind of figured, considering it takes place around World War One. Well, the movie takes place during World War One. Was it World War One? Right? 2?
Yeah.
1?
Yeah.
Okay.
1.
Takes place
1.
during the World War, and Ares is the god of war. He feeds off of that, that crap. So, and I think Chris Pine was the one who actually spoiled it for everybody. He was talking about it in an interview, and he was talking about how he feeds off like the strife and all that good stuff. And I'm cool with it. I don't know who's playing Ares. I think I have an idea. I just don't know the guy's name. But Andrew, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on Ares being the official villain in Wonder Woman?
I like it. I figured it'd be Ares. Still don't really know what exactly his plan is. I'm trying to go into this movie knowing like nothing. So I was a little bummed when I saw a bunch of people posting all these tidbits from the movie and on Twitter, and I'm like, okay, some of that stuff I would have liked to have seen in the movie and not as screenshots on Twitter. But it makes sense. They didn't say if that's who David Thewlis is playing or not, did they? Or is that who Danny Houston is playing?
Oh yeah, I don't freaking know. It might be him.
Yeah.
There was a rumor going around that it was Danny Houston, but I've not heard much about that in a while.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm excited. If they can bring in the Greek gods and stuff for Wonder Woman, that stuff is always interesting. That's what makes me like her more. I'm not like the biggest Wonder Woman fan, but when they start bringing in her the Greek gods and stuff, that's when her stories rock.
Yeah. Also, before I even talk to anybody else, I know there's a rumor going around that Wonder Woman is a mess. Just don't listen to it, okay? And this is not saying this because I'm a DC fan. I'm just saying, like, form your own opinion. Don't, like, freak out every single time an article comes out saying, oh, a movie's a mess, or a movie's going through reshoots, or things like that. Just chill out, hang out, kick back, drink a beer, juice if you're underage, and just hang out.
Reshoots are normal, people. Reshoots are normal.
So, I mean, I just wanted to say that because I saw people on Twitter absolutely freaking the heck out when they saw that. Some tweet, I don't know who tweeted it, but they were just like, oh yeah, I just saw Wonder Woman, or I know someone who saw Wonder Woman, and they said it's a discombobulated mess. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, whatever. They still have time. Even if it is, they have time to fix it. If that's even like something that's going on. I just want to say that. Alex, speak.
I like Andrew. I kind of figured that Ares was going to be the main villain in this, but it's nice to get confirmation that is true. And there were some other details that were released with this that I'm not going to say because I was kind of, like Andrew said, I was a little bit upset to know about them.
Yeah, don't say anything because I don't know.
I do. Yeah, like I don't want to spoil it for people, but I am very much loving the amount of Greek mythology that it looks like they're bringing into these movies. And like Andrew, like I absolutely love the Greek gods and Greek mythology in that aspect. So I hope that they explore a good portion of that in this, and hopefully they lean towards doing that in the future as well. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that, and it's cool to know that he's the big bad for this one.
David, really quickly.
Really quickly. And I think there was a tease in the last trailer that Danny Houston was going to be Ares, but again, like we don't really know if that's true or not. I don't really know a huge amount about the sort of dynamic between Ares and Wonder Woman and all that kind of stuff, but I think the trailers so far have been great. I hope that Wonder Woman does really well. I hope that Gal Gadot knocks it out of the park, and I mean maybe maybe there'll be some more light shed in the next trailer perhaps. I mean the movie, was it June 2nd or something it comes out, so
June 14th, right?
Oh, maybe June 14th. So yeah, we're still a few months away, so they could tease it in a future trailer. But yeah, I mean, I'll just wait and see what happens when I'm actually in the theater, I guess.
It's June 2nd.
June 2nd.
Oh, it is June 2nd. Oh yeah, because they pushed it up. Yeah, you're right.
Nailed it.
I love how we're ending the podcast with the one thing that I said I didn't want to end the
Yeah, I
podcast
noticed
with.
that, Josh. Come on.
I'm looking at it, I'm talking, and I'm just like, crap.
As we were going down the topics, I was like, Josh hasn't brought up this topic yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something super quickly, so we don't have to be on it for long. But apparently, amidst all of the directors leaving and the movie getting removed from Fox's release schedule, Channing Tatum is still somehow attached to Gambit. I don't know why. I just feel like that project is dead at this point, and I feel like he should move on to something else that's not named Shazam, because I don't think that's a good idea. But Alex, what do you think? Do you think that Gambit will ever happen? Ever?
Probably not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not in maybe in like 10 years from now. If they do character pieces like I had mentioned, that Gambit deserves a good one, but I kind of don't really want Channing Tatum attached to it. So walk away, man. This one's in development hell for now.
Yeah, I don't. When I see Channing Tatum, I don't think the Raging Cajun. So I think we should go with somebody else. Andrew.
No, I don't think this is gonna. I don't think this is gonna happen.
Yeah, nah. Wait, was that it? Is that what you were gonna
Pretty
say?
much.
just no.
Just
Nope.
no.
Move
Next.
on.
Yeah, no, you're right though. David.
I think that Channing Tatum would have been a great Gambit. I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty going around right now about Fox and their current like status of the X-Men universe. Are they rebooting it? Are they not rebooting it? Are they going to keep the same cast? Are they going to reboot it completely? Are they keeping some characters? We don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of years with Fox and their X-Men universe. Apart from Apocalypse, I think they were doing incredibly well, especially with like Deadpool, which is obviously getting a sequel and a threequel and everything. So, I mean, I wouldn't bet any money on seeing a Gambit film in the next 5 years. I mean, maybe after that they could put something out, but in the next 5 years, I don't think we're going to see it at all.
And when you mentioned X-Men, I just realized that I forgot something that we should talk about. And I'm happy that that Gambit isn't the last thing we talk about. Apparently, this is going to be super quick. Apparently, the new X-Men movie's title might have been leaked, and they said that it's going to be X-Men Supernova, and it's going to focus on the Dark Phoenix saga, featuring like Jean Grey and like all that good stuff. I think it's a good idea. I mean, X-Men The Last Stand did a really bad job adapting that story. It was just and I haven't even read the story. I knew it was bad. So imagine somebody who's read the comic watching that train wreck and being like, "Oh yeah, okay, this is bad." Andrew, what do you think about I guess that kind of storyline for X-Men Supernova, their rumored title?
I think it's pretty cool. Hey, I'm down for them giving another crack at the Dark Phoenix storyline because, like you said, man, Last Stand was horrible. So yeah, I'm excited. I didn't read too much into it, but did they say that this is like the continuation of like the new original teammates like Cyclops, Jean? Is it going to be like the same actor?
We don't know.
I don't know.
That's the thing. Yeah, we don't know.
Okay, because that'd be nice to know. Because like David, like you were saying, we don't know what Fox's plan, what their plan for the X-Men are after.
I don't even think Fox knows.
So,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think they do.
I don't even think Fox knows what they're doing.
So that'd be nice to know. But yeah, I'm down for it. I'm down for more X-Men movies.
Alex.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that when we have a rumor about the rumored title for the next one, because like you guys, I don't really think they have a clue what a plan for the timeline and how they want to continue this. But if they want to do Dark Phoenix, do that story again, then yeah, I think that would be the puzzle pieces were definitely laid in Apocalypse for them to be able to do that, and hopefully they can do it justice if they do. So.
David, did I get to you?
No, I'll just say really quickly, I didn't really care for like the sort of the newest additions to the cast in X-Men Apocalypse. I didn't necessarily think they were bad at their roles. There was just something about their performance and about those characters I just didn't really care about. So when is it Sophie Turner plays Jean Grey, I think?
Yeah.
When she did that whole Dark Phoenix thing, or the sort of the Phoenix tease at the end of X-Men Apocalypse, I was just it didn't really do anything for me. I'm not really interested in a Dark Phoenix saga. I know a lot of people out there who are like, especially fans of the comics and stuff, would love to see it. But again, like, we're so uncertain. We don't even know if they're keeping the same cast on. But I mean, if they announced a rebooted X-Men universe after Logan, with Deadpool being in the new rebooted universe, I think that's the best thing that they can do, in my opinion. I'd be very happy with that. Dark Phoenix saga, I'm not really that bothered.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when she like, I guess, released to the Phoenix, I was just like, oh, that's cool. I hate that movie. Yeah. So I mean, that's really, maybe that's a testament to the actual movie itself, cool, and not the reveal. But I mean, yeah, sure, I like X-Men. although, like I said, X-Men Apocalypse sucked. Hopefully the next one will be good. But I actually think that is it for us today. We got through a lot of news in hopefully less than an hour. I'm going to edit this thing, and hopefully if it's under an hour, or if it's not under an hour, I'm going to have to start cutting some stuff. Because I don't like them hour-long podcasts. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. It's the first podcast of the year. Many more to come. We got some cool things planned. We actually have some really cool things planned. Wink, wink, David. You excited?
Oh yeah. Things will be revealed soon. Oh yeah, stay tuned.
Indeed. Yeah, so I guess now we can plug the new site and social media. So, Alex, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at APBatman. Come by, talk comics, Batman, movies, video games, whatever.
And
And I'm on Twitter at Anderwriter. Yeah, just like Alex, come on by, talk Aquaman, not Batman, comics, movies, whatever you want, man.
all that good stuff.
I'm up for anything.
Also, Alex and Ander, they do a weekly comic roundup. I think it's every single week. I'm not entirely sure. I think sometimes, I guess
We
like
try to get it out every single week, but
yeah. So basically, if you're like a huge comic buff and you want to hear people talk about comics, they sit down for like a half hour or so each week, and they kind of just discuss like the latest comics that come out that week. The stories, what they thought, their overall thoughts. It's pretty cool. I would love to be on it, but since I'm like so far behind on comics, I've kind of opted to just never show up, I guess. But yeah, if you're into that, definitely check it out. It's on the channel. We're gonna have it on the site if you want to check it out there. It'll actually be at the top of the site, and on all of our social media. But yeah, definitely go ahead and check that out. David, where can people find you at?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DavidHutchison_ and somewhere else in the next few weeks. You guys can't see, but I'm twiddling my fingers like an
Rubbing your
evil
hands like you're a
genius
leg
right
bird, man. Yep.
Oh yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at Dark Knight of Ren. It's 1K for the dark and the night. You can also find me on DCU News on Instagram. I usually stream there, and people come and hang out and ask me questions, same questions over and over again. It gets kind of annoying. Also, be sure to what was I about to say? I don't know. Oh yeah. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at not TDN. Crap. Oh, actually, follow us on Instagram at TDN Live. But you can also follow us on Twitter at The Drop HQ. That's where all of our new stuff is at. And as always, keep it locked to thedropnews.com for your latest news in comic-related stuff, non-comic book-related stuff, video games, television, and just all the cool stuff. I'm really happy that we finally got a chance to get the site up and running. And thank you all so much for your support. Last year we had like 1.5 million people come to the site, and that's just ridiculous in like thinking. But yeah, thank you all for your support, and let's keep it up in the new year. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you guys later. Peace.